Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the live stream. I hope everything works here. Didn't get a quite good test. I was at work earlier and just got off. Actually, just got home about an hour ago. Actually, less than an hour ago, about 45 minutes ago. So I had to take care of my normal, I guess, chores. Hang out with Haley for a bit and get at it. So tonight, I'm only going to go to midnight Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific, hard out, pretty much. Best way I can describe it. I need to take care of some stuff, and I'm a little bit tired, to be 100% honest with you here. It was a late couple last nights, or couple nights, long baseball games, and by the time I got home and got to sleep, it was pretty late, and we had a day game today. Luckily, it wasn't too bad of a call time, but an hour and a half into... I'm having some issues here, aren't I? Let me try to do something here. This might help out a little bit here. I just saw I had some drop frames there, so hopefully this will fix that. But anyways, I nonetheless I want to do some play some ham radio. I got FT8 going right now. Pardon me, on 20 meters. Let me see if I can pull that up. I don't know why that froze up. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, I didn't test quite everything before I got on. So I apologize. So that was a frozen picture you guys just saw. But I do have FT8. There it goes. Now I have it going. Here on the live stream right now. And most importantly, in about, 23 minutes or so, there is going to be a SpaceX, actually, it's about 30 minutes from now, there's going to be a SpaceX Falcon Heavy launching from the Cape Canaveral air station there, or space station there. And let me see if I can get the chats going here. Oh, crap. Having some... I got the Mondays going here, even though it's not Monday. Where is my chat at? I got to figure out where my chat is at here. Hold on. Tim, it's nice to see you in there. Trying to get my chat here on the screen. Obviously, sometimes things don't go as well as you want to go here. There we go. Now, nice to see you in there. That should pop up there. It's pretty long. What's up, B&E? About ready to watch a rocket launch, not from this side of the coast here. Unfortunately, that's a lot of reading here. We're in the middle of a big thunderstorm. Yeah. What's going on, Cole? Hope you're studying along. So, big SpaceX launch. It's a Falcon Heavy. It's the biggest. Well, it's not the biggest anymore because the SLS is now, but it's the biggest thing that's operating normally. It has, I think, a couple different flights under its belt, including the very first one about 5 years ago, where it launched Elon Musk's personal Tesla Roadster up in the outer space that's now circling around everywhere, known the man. So still working FT8. Let's see if this works, which it doesn't. I don't know why it's frozen again. I got way too many windows going. I probably don't need this window up right now. Oh boy, I am completely frozen. There we go. So let me see if this works. There we go. Sorry about that. KC1QYD, thank you for the contact. I know you're probably not watching, but I have made a contact with you there from Rhode Island. Always good to get some folks there multiple times to see if any changes that happen. Yeah, sorry. What's up, MAD? What was I going to tell you? I was going to tell you something, and I totally forgot. Oh, I'm going to put a ground in. Okay, question for you guys, girls, whoever's watching, whatever you identify as. What do you think grounding the antenna, a dipole, I have an end-fed dipole, will do to my transmission? I'm going to eventually ground my radio. Will it improve my transmission? Will it change anything in my transmit? Will it improve my receive? Will it make my receive worse? Obviously, I'm going to try it. I'm going to get the poll tomorrow. Although B&E, Miss Bonnie there, knows that it was very hot today. It was actually 102 for the high here in Chino. So I don't think I'll be doing it tomorrow because I think tomorrow's still going to be hot. It's not going to be quite as hot. It's going down in temperature the next week or so. But nonetheless, I'm going to try to get it in probably beginning of next week, maybe Monday or Tuesday. So what do you guys think? What do you think a ground? I'm going to do an 8-foot grounding rod outside here, obviously. And I'm going to first connect it because I don't feel like running the cable through my hot-ass attic. 87 and what, Wrightwood? And for you guys wondering that are not from this area, that's in the mountains at 7,000 feet. And you know what? Sean knows exactly where Wrightwood is at. My in-law lives right at the turnoff of 138 to go up to Wrightwood there in Phelan, right up against the hill there. So I'm pretty familiar with that area. All right. Well, I'm definitely going to try it. Did the radio help too? Or grounding the radio, did that help at all? Would love to know. So I'm still kind of watching. I'm on FT8 right now, 20 meter, which is it should be working a little bit better. This should be I have 3 8-foot ground rods. One is for vertical that blew over. You have different ones for different bands. First off, did they help? Where did they help? Did they help in the transmission? Help in the receive? Michael says it helped them in the receive. It quieted a little bit. I'll take, just like I said before, and you guys heard me say it, so I'm not going to repeat it, but I am anyways. Every tiny little bit helps. Me changing out the coax, me changing out the antenna. Obviously, the radio is a little bit better. So every tiny little increment of stuff I do has definitely made a difference. Getting the antenna up higher. Right now it's at 34. And bought 2 of them? I don't know if I have the energy to do 2 of them. Cole, now I was going to just do 1 just to play with that for a little bit and see. I know that there's a formula to it. You get 2 of them. They have to be right in a row and 3 foot apart or 2.5 feet or whatever the heck it is. You must have a single ground for all your equipment if you ever have had a lightning strike. Oh, come on. We're in California. We don't get lightning strikes very often. Very, very rarely do we get a lightning strike. Yeah, we just don't get them that much. It's just not in our nature. We maybe once every 2 or 3 years we'll have lightning about a mile or 2 from my house, but usually it'll hit some bigger trees in the park by me, and I don't think anybody on the street obviously has been hit. Very rarely does a house get hit in California just because they have large trees around here. Yeah. The other thing is, I'm getting I guess it goes up to 180 megahertz choke for my Icom 9700. I have one of your ACC cables there, Sean, plugged in the back. And I can't go on 2 meter sideband, which I like doing quite a bit, actually, anymore, because I I'm having some RFI issues, and I choked the living you know what out of it, and didn't seem to fix anything here. Let me pin the message. Am I on the phone here? No. Hold on, someone just called me here. Who was that? Sarah. Hold on. Sorry, I'm in the. All right. So what do you? Will it fix some of my RFI issues? At least the choke should. I'm hoping the ground does. I'm gonna first just ground the antenna. Then I'm gonna ground the Icom 7600. Let me do something here. Well, I haven't grounded anything yet. That's interesting. That is very interesting. I haven't thought about that there. They're not for different bands. They're all for together. I live in a lightning-prone area where we're going through a lot of light. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree with you there, Tim. It definitely makes a difference. Obviously, you live in an area that does have a grounding or a lightning prone area. Like I said, we don't really have it here, but I'm thinking about the noise factor. I know depending on the ground on a TV truck that I work on, sometimes the audio is cleaner if the truck has a really good ground, a good chassis. You are correct. So I got to look and see. I'm definitely running a ground on this mixer. And the back of the mixer actually has a ground spot that I can ground. So it's running off AC ground right now. You made a very good point. What's up, Terry? Nice to see you there. Maybe we can work some voice in a little bit. Yeah, like I said, we don't get lightning here. I am not concerned about lightning. I haven't seen lightning hit anywhere closer to a mile from here. Maybe even 2 miles. I've obviously been close to lightning. All right. Did you have any ground problems? Oops, sorry about that, Cole. Hope they'll work you on voice again. I know what which mixer you're talking about there. I don't know if you liked it or not. I noticed that that one is a little bit not as the components are a little bit different than the one I have. Take a piece of flat copper. Are you talking about the grounding rod or the... There's no way I can do a flat for my equipment. It'll have to be a wire, unfortunately, which actually turns into an antenna, which some of the problems I've had before when I grounded my home station at my parents' house. By the way, in about 10 minutes, we're going to be tuning into SpaceX, not ham radio. Yeah, I'm not really, like I said, worried about lightning here. I just want some cleaner power. Or sorry, cleaner receive. That's my goal. Obviously, you should have it. I should have it. But I don't. Which hopefully doesn't make me a bad person. See if this is going yet. Oh. We got SpaceX going here, so I'm gonna get in with them here. I need to get rid of some stuff. Hopefully this works.
3 cores instead of just the one on Falcon 9 means that we are using 27 engines between the 2 side boosters and center core today, and that allows us to carry heavier payloads to various orbits in space. From a technical standpoint, we are creating a more powerful first stage that carries more fuel and burns longer than the first stage on a typical Falcon 9 mission. Now, at the very top of our rocket, as you can see on your screen, is our payload fairing. This is where the Jupiter 3 satellite is safely enclosed between 2 composite pieces.
That's a nice looking rocket.
The fairing protects the payload from aerothermal loads, heating, and contamination during ascent. Once we reach the vacuum of space, though, the fairing isn't needed anymore. So we will jettison both halves as the second stage continues on its journey to orbit. Both fairings supporting today's mission are flight-proven, with one half flying for its 5th time and the other for its 6th. Once those fairing halves separate from the second stage, we will of course be attempting to recover them again today with the help of our recovery vessel,
2 stages?
Doug. Now, right below the fairing, we have a second stage, which is connected to the 28th engine on board Falcon Heavy. This is our Merlin vacuum engine, and its job is to power the payload to its final targeted orbit once the center core and second stage separate. The second stage for this mission is also debuting a new medium coast configuration.
Sean could probably attest to this.
Just in case you didn't know, our second stages have 3 general configurations: standard, medium, and long coast. And we use different configurations depending on how long the second stage needs to operate after launch. Standard, medium, and long coast. And we use different configurations depending on how long the second stage needs to operate after launch. A medium coast kit, which is what we're using today, provides better performance for some missions and includes an added battery loaf or power pack, a painted gray stripe on the outside of the fuel tank, and other hardware to make sure that the fuel and stages systems operate as long as needed.
Some SpaceX.
Now, if you look very closely at the stage 2 on your screen, you can just barely see that stripe of gray paint that I mentioned. While in space, that paint will absorb some heat from the sun in order to keep the second stage fuel warm enough for our long flight today. Payload deployment for Jupiter 3 is scheduled to occur after 3 second stage engine burns and occur around the T+3 hour and 30-minute mark. We hope you'll stick with us till the end.
I won't be staying with you
now,
guys.
Moving further down the rocket, as I mentioned a little bit earlier today, we have 3 Falcon 9 rockets essentially strapped together.
Nice and clear.
All 3 constitute our first stage. Each of the side boosters on either side of the center core are flying for the 3rd time on today's mission, having previously supported 2 Falcon Heavy flights, USSF 44 and 67. A couple of minutes after liftoff, we'll attempt to recover both side boosters with a land landing on landing zones 1 and 2. And fun fact, landing zone 2 was built specifically to support dual booster landings like this one. Similar to previous launches, we'll be conducting a 1-engine entry burn.
Yeah, it's in Florida.
This allows us to shorten the length of the entry burn, ultimately allowing us to increase performance of Falcon Heavy overall.
Yeah,
and speaking of increased performance, we will not be attempting to recover the center core today. If you look very closely, you'll see that the center core doesn't have landing legs or grid fins attached. That's because this mission requires more performance than we have to be able to recover the center core, and that landing hardware isn't needed.
What the heck?
But don't worry, today's launch should still be a very exciting one, especially if you're joining us from the Space Coast tonight, where you should be in for some beautiful nighttime landing views.
SpaceX launch.
And now, as promised, here's a bit more information about our customer and satellite today.
For over half a century, we've been on a journey to connect people, enterprises, and things around the world. Innovation runs deep in our veins. From developing the two-way VSAT in the 1980s to inventing satellite internet in the 1990s to launching the first modern-era telecommunications satellite in the 2000s. We've tackled the biggest connectivity challenges and applied our engineering excellence to uncover innovative ways to connect the unconnected. Since the launch of the first Hughes high-throughput satellite, we have engineered some of the highest capacity broadband satellites in the world. And now, our
I don't know. Everybody I know that had it said it was slow as shit.
Launches a new era of connectivity. Jupiter 3, the world's largest commercial communications satellite. 26 feet tall when stowed, it boasts 14 solar panels unfurled.
Transmitting.
This massive satellite was purpose-built and engineered like no satellite before. Hundreds of team members have devoted countless hours to bring Jupiter 3 to life. The highly anticipated next-generation ultra-high-density satellite doubles the size of the Hughes Jupiter fleet and brings total throughput to more than 1 terabit per second. Enabling more capacity, better service, and faster speeds. With 300 highly concentrated spot beams, Jupiter 3 expands our reach to nearly 80% of the population across North and South America. The engineering ingenuity built into Jupiter 3 will expand the connected experience. For the family in Ohio, streaming movies on a Friday night. For the student in Mexico, expanding her horizons with access to
for the ham radio operator in Oildale that has really bad internet.
In rural Idaho, monitoring the weather each day to manage his crops. For the executive, flying from New York to Los Angeles, holding a meeting over first-class Wi-Fi in the sky. For the senior in Montana, consulting with his doctor by telehealth. For the ranger at a national park, coordinating in real time with emergency responders. For the mango grower in Brazil, expanding her family business nationwide and internationally. For the entrepreneur in Ecuador, promoting his business and taking customer orders. For the grandmother in Mississippi, meeting her new grandchild by video chat.
That still doesn't know how to operate her iPhone.
More as Jupiter 3 launches a new era of
romance. They talking about pH right there?
Join us.
I don't know. I don't think I'll be joining you guys. Sorry.
With liftoff just about 6 minutes and 15 seconds from now, the vehicle and payload are healthy, and propellant load is well underway on the launch pad. Speaking of the launch pad, you may often hear the pad on your screen referred to as Historic Launch Complex 39A.
Oh, that was
and there's
the
good
one
reason
from,
for that. LC-39A was originally built to support the
day.
Apollo program with the goal of landing humans on the moon. This launch pad eventually supported the Apollo 11 mission to the lunar surface, carrying NASA astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins in July of 1969. So we're just about a week past the 54-year anniversary. And after numerous launches of the Saturn V and Space Shuttle vehicles, the launch pad was leased to SpaceX in 2014. Since then, we've launched 66 missions and 38 humans to space from Launch Complex 39A. Today's mission will mark SpaceX's 249th overall mission to date, our 67th mission from 39A, and 50th launch of 2023. We look forward to reaching even greater space milestones on this launch pad for years to come. Now, coming up next, we should hear the call out for strong back retract.
Whatever that big giant one is, the super heavy, whatever it is, out of Florida. Or is it just going to be Boca Chica Texas. Let's take a listen. Listen to It's Alive right now.
Okay, tanks are pressing for strong back retract.
So there you heard Mission Control confirming that we are pressurizing the tanks ahead of strong back retraction. Next up, the clamp arms around the second stage, which you can't really see because they're being obscured by those LOX clouds there, are going to begin to open. And that truss structure next to the vehicle, known as the strong back, will retract away from Falcon Heavy.
Poor girl's having some trouble. It's worse than I am today. Well, nobody's really that bad. I got to give her some credit, sorry. It reminds me of...
Again, those clouds that you see forming around the vehicle are nothing to worry about. That's actually liquid oxygen boiling off the surface of the tanks inside the rocket. As that boiled off liquid oxygen meets the warm Florida air, it's forming actual clouds around the vehicle.
They test it, and it's like... Psh, it's at night. By the way, I live right by that mall. I just saw it on the way home.
There you can see coming out from behind those clouds, we have had the clamp arms open up around Falcon Heavy in preparation for liftoff. There you have a great view of the strong back actually pulling away from the vehicle. This initial retraction is just a slight movement.
That's
ahead
what
of
I'm looking
liftoff,
for,
we'll see
Tim.
full retraction so that Falcon Heavy can clear the launch pad.
Some noise.
Now, the next major milestone we're tracking is liquid oxygen loading completion. We're expecting that here in just about a minute.
Do I have a light on top of that thing or something? Or is it reflecting? It's breathing. It's alive. Just a little over 2.5 minutes away. This thing will be taking off. I hope.
Just about 25 seconds left of liquid oxygen loading.
I wish I had a way I can get rid of my face there. I don't at this point in time.
Oh, what's going on?
We're about ready to watch a rocket launch here in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm watching on Discord.
I brought my video in a little differently, so it should be a little bit clearer.
Looks good on the Discord side.
Cool.
Really gorgeous views of Falcon Heavy on the launch pad tonight.
Isn't that sexy, though?
I like that.
Yeah. That thing looks like beastie.
The next major milestone we're tracking is going to be the announcement that Falcon Heavy is in startup mode, which means that the internal flight computers have taken over the final count in the lead up to liftoff.
So they're expanding the center section, which is unfortunate.
About T-1 minute is when we expect to hear that call out, and that's also when stages 1 and 2 will begin to pressurize for launch.
Oh.
Like the landing one. So I wonder if they're going to land at the same time, the two on the sides. Oh, man, I finally got cooled down in my office here. All right, little more than a minute left here.
As you may have just heard over the nets, we just heard an abort called out from our launch director. We're waiting for other updates from Mission Control, so stay tuned, and we'll come back with an update as soon as we can.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah. Wah, wah, wah. Damn you guys. Oh, man, that sucks. All right, well, let's get rid of that. That's unfortunate. How does that happen? By the way, everybody watching tonight, don't forget to jump in there and like. I'm trying to get some FT8 going for you guys. I have to do a little reconfiguring when I bring in that video, so that's why it was like kind of sketchy when I got on here. But That's unfortunate. Just about dark here in California. Yeah, thanks. You can thanks SpaceX. Normally they don't get that close to aborting to the launch time, so it must have been something pretty decently major. Those dang rocket scientists couldn't get it right.
Yeah.
What's up with them? I can do better than that. Yeah, right.
It's like weathermen.
Or weather women, or weather...
Yeah, weather people.
Yeah, weather people. Is that what we're supposed to call them?
I guess so.
So FT8 looks like it's rocking right now. At least 20, but I'm not getting anybody biting me here. Oh, you know why? Because I'm not transmitting. Oh, duh.
It'd help if you transmit.
It would help if I transmit. So I also have the... I don't have the hotspot up right now. I probably won't go on a hotspot because I'm not going to go past 9 o'clock tonight. But I do want to talk on some HF and hopefully reach out with somebody out there. Weather beans. Got quiet, huh?
Yeah, it did.
I wonder what happened with that dang thing. Let me look here. I didn't want to stay on it for obvious reasons. Look real quick here. Hold. It's definitely not going tonight.
You think they're going to scrap it tonight?
It's definitely scrapped for tonight, it said. Because they have to take all the stuff out, the fuel, because they can't leave it in there for a certain amount of time. Yeah. So they, so they have to, once they abort, it's a done for the night. I think the single Falcons can go again, depending on their window. I think they had a immediate window tonight, too. So that's unfortunate. Plus 28, huh? You want to try working some voice and see how we sound? And he's referring to this. Oop. I am out of it tonight. Oh, he gone. Yeah, plus 28. Yeah, let's try to work some voice, dude. That's awesome. In theory, you should be coming in really good. So I'm going to shut this down here and try to get on some voice here. I got to get run or whatever it's called here. By the way, I got 2 different emails from people.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Saying, why don't I put my radio picture in with my, or a video from my radio in with FT8? You can move around some stuff. I'm like, well, there's not much to see because you could see the signal and everything from the radio.
But what they're referring to is like
this picture, I think.
Your dash. No, not your face. Because the way MRD has laid out, he's got the FT8 dashboard. He's got grid tracker. He's got his radio at the bottom left, and then he's got his, camera that's on him all laid out. So they're saying, why don't you be like that? Do it that way so we can see radio to dashboard.
But I'm not. But that would be kind of copying.
Well, no, hell, everybody does it. Everybody does it that way.
14317.
But what they want to see is they want to see your dashboard more. Well, they want to see your dashboard and your radio.
But my radio isn't doing anything. Let's see if I can get them here.
Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf. You got a copy on me there, Sean? MAD?
Yes, I do. I got about a 5.8 signal on you.
Yeah, you're sounding extremely loud and good as always here in Southern California.
Yeah, I'm doing something a little different tonight. I've got my downward expander turned on. Not running the noise gate. Got the noise gate turned off, but the downward expander is activated.
It sounds pretty good. You sounded good as always. Didn't really notice too much of a difference. I do kind of hear a little bit of an echo, but I think that's some of your audio settings as well.
Yeah, you hear the echo now?
I do not, so I didn't know if that was room noise because you took your noise gate out.
Yeah, it's just the reverb that's on the that I had set on the EQ Plus. I kicked it back on.
Yeah, we got a nice good path between us tonight. One of the better ones. It's not waving in and out, and you're perfectly clear. Now, since they heard your big old giant 1.3 whatever KW station, everybody's going to start following you over here. I'll be able to make some good contacts.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not helping you. Like, I'll get on here and everybody from the West Coast starts hearing me and they start blowing me up over here, and I'm trying to get you to get the contacts.
It's all, well, you can make the contacts. That doesn't make you a bad person. I mean, other things do, but I'm just kidding. No, man, that brings people. They see a big station, and it gets a little activity on that frequency there. That's happened a number of times. That's another email I got from somebody that was watching. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn the downward expander off. I'm gonna turn the noise gate back on, and I want to see if later on when I listen to this, see if I can tell a difference.
My diaper.
Copy, I'm monitoring, and you'll be able to hear yourself as well.
What are you talking about, diapers?
All right, now I've got the noise gate turned on, and the downward expander is turned off.
Of course, when you started talking, the band started changing there a little bit, so didn't hear too much of a difference. Maybe a little bit brighter, but the band started waving in and out a little bit.
What diaper are you referring to?
The only thing I don't like about using the noise
What's
gate,
up with that?
You just hear that audio when it clips off. If you're wearing headphones, you can hear that where the audio shuts off and the gate shuts. Where the downward expander, you don't hear that transition.
What's up, Matt?
Do you hear that on mine at all? Because I'm running a noise gate right now.
No, and I can't hear it. Like when I'm listening to your stream after it's live, I don't hear it either. It's just in my headphones I can hear it. I can't hear it anywhere else. Even when I do the nets on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday on our VHF UHF nets, I can't hear it there either.
Yeah, I know that sound bugs me depending on your noise gate. I don't run a noise gate on the microphone feeding the live stream just for the reason that you're probably thinking, or the reason I'm probably thinking you're thinking is the weirdness of it. It kind of bugs me. It just sounds like it's grabbing a little bit. It's the best way I guess I can describe it. But I'm listening to myself through the radio monitor right now, and I'm not hearing that grab. So it's just a matter of just dialing it into maybe to your environment. I heard it just a little bit right there when I made a little sound to my voice there, but not too bad.
Yeah, and another thing too, this is that W2IHY, EQ plus link band EQ. That's not nearly as good as a dedicated gate. I used to have a really good noise gate, and you couldn't, when you had it set right, you couldn't tell when it kicked in and kicked out. But this one here is pretty obvious.
And if I may make a suggestion, and you got maybe even under $100, look up DBX compressors. Some of them have built-in noise gates to them, and you could just put that in your chain. And that's exactly what I'm using right now. I'm actually using the insert out function of my of the channel on my audio console. But I think it's pretty clean. Obviously, a professional sounding noise gate.
Yeah, I caught the tail end of that. What were you saying at the beginning?
If you have, I guess a little under $100, you can look on eBay and find a used DBX compressor that has a noise gate built into it, and throw that in your chain.
Okay. I thought that's what you said, but I couldn't catch the very first part. Didn't catch, but I got you that time. What's funny is the other night I was watching a stream there, and I seen you were talking about your preamp, your Dynamite preamp, and I started laughing because I didn't realize you had one, and I've got one taped to the boom here, all taped up so I don't see the red.
I got to be honest with you. I had some RFI issues with it on HF, as well as sideband VHF when I used it. I still do a little bit on the VHF side, which I'm trying to work out. So I was using the Fathead, but the Fathead, Fathead's an awesome preamp, but it also creates a little bit more low end that I want, especially for HF. The Dynamite, as you know, it's very, very clean, and I don't get a lot of noise from it. So it doesn't add any noise into my chain, which you want to avoid, obviously. So yeah, good. They're a little more expensive, obviously, than a Fathead, but they definitely sound, I think, a little bit better. So you're paying for what you get there.
K6EGG, K0M80. Yeah, I do need to put I'm going to have to put a DI box, I think, between a transformer between my mic and the mixer, because I did notice a few months ago when I added that Dynamite preamp, it made my microphone is hot. Well, it's not hot. If I touch my microphone, I get a buzz. Here, listen, you'll hear it as soon as I touch this thing. You hear it buzzing?
Definitely hear a buzz in there. Yeah, I'm running a transformer in between my mixer and the ACC input of the 7600. It's after all the after all my chain and everything like that.
Yeah, this noise is coming from. It's coming from just before the Dynamite preamp. It's nowhere else in the chain. I can touch the cables and do everything anywhere else. No noise. It's just right where it comes out of the microphone, the metal barrel of the connector. And I've taken it all apart thinking maybe there was a short, but it's just a little bit of RF in it.
That would be fun, Daniel.
Yeah, that's part of that is the 48 volts coming out of the preamp that's causing that. It's basically a big giant loop, and that particular preamp, the Dynamite, which I wish I can throw that in the chat right now, but I'm a little busy talking to MAD here. This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf. Sorry, I haven't ID'd there for a second. But they're a little bit more susceptible to RFI, I noticed, and I can actually move my mic around on my boom, and it changes. So definitely some weird stuff going on with that, but I haven't figured out how to fix it. I don't know if you're still watching, but I do have a ferret, but I know they're called ferrites, but I'm going to call it a ferret at the end there. That's helped out actually quite a bit too.
Yeah, I've got one on there too, and it doesn't seem to help me. But if I don't touch the microphone, I can touch the microphone. It don't do anything. It's just when I touch, if I wrap my hand around the microphone, then I hear it. But if I just touch the microphone, it's fine. It's just when I touch that bare chrome barrel. Oh yeah. like that.
Well, maybe something's telling you not to touch it like that.
I don't know. The way it grunts, I think it likes it.
Oh man, this is going bad. It's too bad they're not watching on YouTube right now. We only have 12 people watching, which is unfortunate. I hope more of people are watching. But yeah, that's definitely took me some time to get rid of that buzz there. If you see right there, I'm grabbing the mic all over the place here, and I'm not hearing any buzz at all. It took a while to get that out of there.
Yeah, I've got a DI box, a XLR in, XLR out. I'll just try that and see if that takes it out of there. It may or may not. I may not, because this is before the preamp. I may have to choke it between the two. I don't know. But anyway, I'll take a standby. This is K0MAD with K6EGG out there in California. Anybody want to jump in there for that K6EGG, go right ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I when I put that transformer in line after my mixer, that's when all the noise went away. So I guess it depends on the atmosphere in your room and all the electronics on the same circuit, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm using a real cheap. I have to use an inline phantom power supply too, because my W2IHY stuff doesn't supply 48 volts, just 5.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some RFI getting in that little thing too that's passing through the XLR that you're not going to be able to get out.
I got to think about it. I guess I can't. I guess I have to keep the. Yeah, I couldn't put the transformer would have to be between the mic and the preamp, because it would cut the voltage off.
That is affirmative. You're correct.
Why shoots that in the foot?
Yeah, I played with that RFI issue with this here preamp for many hours, and tearing apart my shack. What's the word I'm looking for? Wiring, I guess. I guess it's a maze of cables in here to figure out where it was coming from, and finally it was. That's what did it. I put that transformer in line in like several different places, put the chokes in several different places, and it didn't make much of a difference. You got voltage mixing with voltage and power and RFI, and it's really a really difficult thing to try to hunt down. It's almost like going down a rabbit hole. You think you find it, and it ends up somewhere else.
Well, I just decided, as long as I don't touch the connector, the XLR connector, it seems to be fine. I haven't heard anybody say that they hear any kind of humming or anything. Now the amplifier, it's got a pretty good fan on it, and I know if I don't use the downward expander of the noise gate, you can hear that fan running.
It is late for you folks there on the East Coast, which is probably why I'm not going to go too late. Max is 9 p.m., hard out. Maybe even before.
Sounds like someone's calling me on FT8. I'm on voice. I'm looking at the band here, and I'm not seeing too many people talking here on this band.
Somebody just moved in 1 KC above us.
That I heard too. I heard a KC station. Starting to hear that whistling sound like I heard the other night, like from what's the word? What's the movie? Gone with the Wind.
I never heard that noise over here, but I did hear it on yours.
Very, very interesting there. It's probably something here. I just moved my antenna just a tad, so we'll see if it made a difference. That noise might be causing some of that.
Yeah, as far as your ground goes, you were talking about earlier, I don't know. It probably won't do a whole lot of difference on your antenna. The only thing it might do is if you add a ground at the base of where your coax comes down, you could add like a surge arrestor and a ground right there where the coax comes in, and that would shunt off any common mode currents that come back into your shaft.
So wrap the coax at the connector is what you're saying?
No, you put where you put your ground rod, they make a clamp kit where you can put a surge arrestor for your coax, clamps right onto the ground rod, and then you run your coax into it, then out of it, and it has a little gas discharge tube for if you have like a, nearby lightning strike. It won't protect you on a direct, but nearby lightning strikes, it goes to ground, but it keeps the shield of your coax grounded before it comes into your shack, so if you have common modes, it'll go into the ground rod first.
Gotcha. I just wondered if it would clean up any of the noise. It looked like Michael mentioned in the chat there that it did a bit. I'll take a bit at this point. Obviously, I got in some cases S9 over of noise, and if I can knock it down an S unit or even half a S unit, I'll be happy. I might be able to bring in Seth or somebody from a distant station.
Well, it'll definitely help the shield from radiating and also
Maybe,
receiving.
Yes.
We'll see. I'll have to get my energy up to put that rod in the ground using that. What do they have? I saw somebody on YouTube. They just poured like a 1 bottle of water in from the hose, and they stuffed it in. And I probably should have done that on the camera. And as soon as that went in, like a half a foot or 6 inches, they added another what's it called? Another bottle of water in the hole.
Yeah. Yep. When I lived out there in California, you could buy a ground rod that had a hole all the way down the center of them with a hose connection on them. And you could just hook your garden hose up, and you just sit there and work the ground rod up and down, up and down, up and down until it's all the way in the ground. And then that was it. You left a little garden hose connection on it.
Definitely have to try something. It sounded like I heard a little bit of the people next to us.
I'm reading there where Scott and them are saying put a 1-to-1 choke at your feed point. Don't do that with an end-fed. Here, you got to use you're going to have to use your coax as the counterpoise, or you're going to have to add a separate ground wire. Then you can choke it, but you have to add a counterpoise.
There's one that came on the antenna, on the antenna itself. It's like hanging in the air.
Just make sure you get that counterpoise before you choke it, because you choke it without the counterpoise, you kind of defeat the purpose of the end-fed.
So I shouldn't ground it before I do something like that?
I wouldn't ground anything close to the antenna. Leave it wherever your coax comes down close to the ground, I'm guessing. I don't know how close your coax comes to the ground, but that's where I'd ground it, where you got a good length of coax dangling away from the antenna.
Oh, I got the end-fed part's like up in the air right now, 20 feet.
Yeah. So if you got a good bit of coax, I'd ground it a ways away from the antenna, so it helps you have a little more counterpoise to work with the antenna. Because you might find if you choke it off, it may not tune the same.
So just let me see here. Let me explain this here if I can. And this is Kilo 6 Echo Golf on the air here on 14317. So if I can ground it without putting a counterpoise in, right?
Yeah, so if you ground it, this is Kilo Echo Zero, Mike, Alpha Delta. If you ground it a ways away from the antenna, say at least 25 foot, I think it's 17 foot. I don't remember what they require on that length of a end-fed. But as long as you meet the minimum criteria of the length of counterpoise, that's at the point where you can put your one-to-one or your ugly ballon or your ground, whatever you want to put in there.
Interesting. I'll definitely experiment around with that. That's a lot of fun. I kind of do on my own. It's kind of like my Zen thing. I'll go out in the backyard and play with the antenna. I moved it a little bit today. Actually, it's a little closer to the house. I don't know if it made a difference, but the orientation's a little bit different. I'm pointing a little more north than northeast, like normal. But like I said, every little bit counts. So we'll see. I'm going to try to put it in when the temperature gets below 90 at some point.
Yeah. Well, that's why you see these parks in the air guys that, like Ryan mentioned K-Murder there. If there is a one-to-one, it's always going to be right up at the radio. And that's just because that's where you're cutting the common mode off, is at the radio, before it gets to the radio. So you're using all that length of coax as a counterpoise.
And I do have a choke, the DX, I think is a D, no, I bought the one from Palomar at my radio here, at the back of my radio here. So that's helped out my noise a little bit as well.
Now, what that helps is receiving, but it's not going to help with transmitting. So when you transmit, you still can get RF coming out of the coax up to that point coming back in, so which could add to your noise in the shack and stuff in your audio gear.
And I wish I could put one at the top of my VHF antenna, which I can't. But that's another story.
Well, actually, I had the same problem you did with on sideband on VHF. I had all kinds of RFI. Nobody could understand anything I said on sideband. And I was just playing around one day with a pair of alligator jumper wires. And I was jumper wiring grounds all over the place, trying to make this noise go away. And I was just sitting there just breathing into the mic, because you could hear it, chirping when you're breathing. It was so bad. And I had it grounded on the audio mixer, and I was touching the metal barrel of the mic connector, because that's ground on the radio. As soon as I touched the mic connector with that ground, all the RFI quit. And then it dawned on me, well, dummy, the mixer is an extension of the radio. The mic is in line with the mixer, in line with the radio, so it's all grounded. It should all be grounded in line together, not to a common point, but to itself.
And that makes sense. It's all off the same power, but obviously the radios are coming off DC power, and they don't have a ground at this point. They're floating. And my mixer is grounded to my house, so that makes perfect sense. It's weird that I'm not getting buzz, though. That's the weird thing. I should be getting more buzz than I do.
Well, the buzz would be the 60 hertz. So you may not have a problem with 60 hertz. It's just the actual RFI coming from the antenna.
Yeah, I understand. But also the 60 cycles or hertz or whatever, the radios become a floating point, so their chassis become their ground as far as a power source, if I'm correct. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm actually gonna get some wire tomorrow and play with that, and we'll see if that helps out at all.
All right, this is K0MAD in Missouri. I'm going to take a standby.
Yeah, I think I'm I think I'm gonna get out of here. I'll do a longer stream tomorrow. I'm a little cooked right now, working out, and it was about 98 degrees outside today. So, at least where I was working. So I'm I'm literally cooked right now. So, all right, that was a nice conversation, man. You always can learn something a little bit there. So, and so you take care, MAD. This is Kilo 6 Echo Golf Golf.
All right, Greg. Catch you later.
Shane.
0 MAD.
Shane, do you have anything for us to tell us? Do you have anything to discuss with us tonight? Call the net with a silent key tribute. Oh, man, that sucks. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I heard that through the grapevine, but I wanted you to say it there. So congratulations there, Shane. How many did you miss, or do you know? That's cool stuff, man. I would love to be there myself, so I will get there. And we're talking about Shane. He got his extra. He passed his extra test. I saw it somewhere. I think you missed 3. Not right on, man. Now you could shoot a little better DX there, which I'm kind of looking forward to myself when I get that going here. But I don't know. We'll see. I have to study here a little bit. I'm having a lot of fun playing with this antenna, so I haven't even looked at the study questions over the last couple weeks.
That's that infed that 80 through 10.
Wait, what are you asking?
What antenna?
I'm running the infed 4010 from my antennas.
Oh, the 4010. Okay, yeah.
And that's a damn good antenna.
Yeah.
That definitely.
I know people that use it.
That is I think you suggested that at first.
I did.
I'm not knocking the MFJ, but I think this handled things a little bit better. It's definitely made a lot better. It obviously costed a lot more.
Yeah.
But it definitely improved my it definitely made a huge difference, especially when I changed the coax from RG8X to LMR 400. Mm-hmm. That made a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking about, but I just don't think it's worth it. Is changing it over to 600 and use the 400 for a second antenna, or I might put up a cell booster. So I don't know, but that would give me a couple more watts. Every couple watts seems to make a pretty big difference.
Yep.
And I'm looking at FT8 right now. Hopefully that works. Had a lot of problems. Sorry, getting on. Have you been studying? And I'm talking about saying
doctor today.
I was at work today.
Yeah, well.
Have I worked Croatia before? I don't think I have. I'm going to try to work Croatia here. I do need to add a ground wire from my transformer ground lug to my common ground. Oh, do I? I don't know. That's a good question. Wow, that's a lot of... Croatia is not coming into me. Yeah, that my antenna, 4010, definitely was a game changer for me. It definitely got me over the hump. I could talk. I can go on phone a lot better, I think, with it. It seemed to, like, structurally, I don't feel as worried about it being in the air.
Yeah. No, a lot of people that use it. The guy down the road from me, I've told you, his is on the top 4x4 post of his privacy fence. So it's 6 feet in the air. And he's making contact.
It's the way, I could definitely hide this at my house if I had lived in an HOA. Scott. I think it will be a game changer, especially running horizontal like that. I think horizontal gets out a little bit better. Vertical, man. Whenever I ran the Entron 99 at my house, or my parents' house, I should say, that tore some stuff up. Like my whole neighborhood got torn up. And I was just running like 40 watts.
On a what?
On an Entron 99. Remember those back in the day? Did they still have those?
I still have one.
Those things got out, though.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody in their CB career that had a house had an Entron 99. And everybody that had a decent car setup had a Wilson 1000.
Right, yeah.
Wilson 1000s were really good. They had good ground planes. Croatia's not calling me back. What's up with that? I can almost go to 40 here. I'm getting hungry, too. And I'm going about ready to go to bed. I am.
Yeah, my voice is giving out.
Yeah. This was planning on being a shorter one tonight. Obviously, it is. I was cheap and either. A Wilson 5000. Is it Wilson 5000? I thought it was a 1000.
There's a 1000. There's a 2000. Trucker, the Wilson 1000. All right, you got a little wheel, a big wheel, Magnum mount. And you've got your Wilson Trucker 2000. I think there is a 3000. Not sure about a 5000.
I don't see too many mag mount antennas anymore. The 5000, the 5000 is the center loaded truck, I think. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think I had a 1000.
That was a 2000. Do you have was yours a mag mount?
That was a mag mount.
Okay, you had the big wheel then.
The big wheel? It's not a 1000? It said 1000 on it, I thought. And black and gold and black.
Oh, okay. Well,
we're going to have to look this up. We're going to just have to look this up here. This looks a little bit different, obviously. This was 30 years ago, by the way. So they might have changed it a little bit. But yeah, there definitely is a Wilson 1000.
Yeah,
there's a mag mount. I never heard of a big wheel.
I think that's it. Because they actually had one called the LIL wheel, Little Wheel Wilson.
I had to be in good. See, this one's gold. That's the one I had.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a different variety. I almost had to taking that thing off the roof of my. I had a red Nissan truck at the time. It was my dad's old truck that I bought from him. It was almost like an act of God to get that thing off the metal.
Yep.
Those are some real. That's the real deal there. So I'm gonna have to go here and here. You guys can see. Nobody's working me here. Oh, we got Iceland here, which I've already worked, but I don't think I worked on 20 meters. Let me look. I don't think I worked this guy at all, actually. It's always good to get Iceland. Those are hard to get. Is Iceland considered Europe? Dual fire sticks, huh? We cannot. That's interesting. You guys aren't 240 down there, are you? The Wilson 5000, a UHF mag mount like a ham. Oh, interesting. Maybe I should get one of those for my wife's car. She'd freaking kill me if I put an antenna on her car.
I may or may have not talked on 10 meters on a Wilson back in the day.
I've probably talked illegally on 10 meters back in the day. Looks like Alaska's on here. Angola, which is always on here. I'm going to go skip up to 40 now that it's probably open. Look at this one. N9JF/, so that's a special station there, right? Of course there's no result. Home wiring's 240. And it's at what, at 30 hertz? I don't know. I think I've told you guys this story before. But when we're down in Australia, I always travel a clock with me because I don't trust the clock in the room. Because someone could, I don't know, cut the speaker out or whatever. So I traveled my clock. I plugged the converter in. Now the converter only changes voltage. It doesn't change. What's the word I'm looking for? What hertz is? The rate. So this isn't working here. Someone will probably say it here. Frequency, yes. Yeah, you guys are at 50. Okay, so because it's 50 hertz, the internal clock is looking for 60 hertz, so the clocking's off. So the clock will run slower than it should, than it's set to. So I set the clock, I remember, going to bed. And, of course, I looked at it right before I went to bed, and it was right after I set it. I didn't notice it, and I woke up. The timer woke us up, and then we're watching the news in the morning or whatever, and they had the clock on the bottom, whatever, Good Morning Australia, whatever the heck it was. And the clock was off by like 45 minutes or something. So I'm like, what the heck? Set the clock back, didn't think about it. We went out for our excursion, came back, and the clock was off again by 40 minutes. So I thought the clock was jacked up. So unbeknownst to me, I looked up the reason why people don't use their, because it was just a regular AC clock. If it had a DC converter on there, it would work fine. But it definitely affected the timing inside the clock itself. So pretty interesting stuff. And look at this. Nobody has called me back. This guy's right by me, I think. I've heard this guy right here. Yep. Yeah, I don't know him, but I've heard him on the radio before. I remember the LLC call sign there. So doesn't look like it's happening on 40 meters right now. So I'll head back, maybe get some DX on 20 or 15. So anyways, I'm planning on being on tomorrow night, a little bit earlier, hopefully, a lot of bit earlier, on closer to 6:30 my time. So do the math of wherever you guys are located. And Colin, the only guy a half-hour time difference other than North Korea, you'll have to figure out your math on that one. One of those old LA clocks. Not the particular clock I had. Those clocks actually had the DC converters on them, on the where you plug it in. This one, it was a straight AC, and it didn't have the converter. So my wife thought it was funny. No, I don't have the power to run an amplifier in here, unfortunately. That's one thing I'm not going to do. I would have to run like AC cable all the way down the stairs to get on another circuit.
What, for HF?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go.
He already has problems running your 2-meter amplifier.
The 2-meter amplifier is going away. I got to sell that thing. Yeah. Let's be going on eBay or whatever next. The voice. So, what were you referring to? Diapers? Amplifiers? Was that the you're asking about amplifiers instead of diapers? I'll buy diapers in a couple years, maybe. Then I don't have to get up. That's the good thing about it. I'll just stay right there and just.
Oh boy,
that'd be awesome. I don't need. Yeah, I'm making contact with the world famous MAD here. Oh, it's supposed to be a dipole. I have a dipole. A G5RV, sorry, which it did okay. That's going to be probably my Poto radio, or take it out on the road with me.
Wait, a G5RV is a radio now?
No, I'm talking about the antenna.
I know you said it's going to be your Poto radio.
Poto antenna, sorry. It's been a long day. I sat in traffic for 3 hours today.
Oh, wow.
I could send you a picture. I could show you guys here. This is when I got on the freeway here. Or we call the freeway here the highway. Look at that. Ooh. All the way home.
Which one's that?
That's the 110 South, and you can see downtown LA on the left. I guess it would be the left side of that picture. Yeah.
You're leaving the city on that one, right? Or is that, that traffic going?
That's going home.
That traffic going into the city?
Well, that part is going into the city, but also going out was pretty bad. Okay. It's bad. Wednesdays and Thursdays are the worst. So, I plan on being on tomorrow night earlier than I came on tonight, and we actually might be able to catch a Falcon launch tomorrow. I gotta look into that, see when they're going to launch up. I think it's going to be tomorrow. Usually they only back those things up a day if it's something easy to fix. European, Russia, Cuba, Alaska, Ukraine, looks like something else is in there. Angola are all on 20 meters right now. So check them out. 20 meters FT8, that is, not voice. So I haven't made too many contacts in Europe on voice. I think that's that one from Poland that one time. But I plan on being on tomorrow night. So don't forget to like in there. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Working a German station right now, it looks like. Go into Discord. It's in the pinned message that Sam went way out of his way to put on YouTube here for me. So, Sam, what are you going to do tonight?
Study.
Study.
Meds. Go to bed.
Maybe not in that order.
We'll see.
All right. Well, take care, everybody. You have anything to say for yourself?
Well, I hope everybody has a great night, morning, wherever you are, and see you tomorrow.
See you folks tomorrow. Take care. And I'm very tired.